Okay, so I just want to talk a little bit about this game of Monopoly that we're all playing. First of all, we're not all born equal. Let's say that we're going to start this game of Monopoly, and it's going to be me. I'm the daughter of a plumber and a teacher. I never go hungry a day in my childhood. I always have clean clothes. My parents would have done anything to protect me. If I wanted something, no, as long as I was good and it was reasonable, I got it. The next player in the Monopoly game, she was born to a alcoholic who one night slept with somebody, got pregnant, never saw the guy, couldn't even remember his name. Um, he no had no idea, so it put a hardship on the alcoholic woman. She never really liked the baby. Baby went hungry a lot, was unsupervised, never went to preschool, nursery school like I did. No, didn't always get to school when they went to when there was school because the alcoholic mother wasn't getting the children up and out of the house and just didn't really care. The next person was born to a wealthy hedge fund manager who, when they were born, had the best of everything, had nannies and housekeepers and drivers, and was shielded from all the bad in life and was only given everything they ever wanted and probably had a trust fund the day where they were born. So we start our little game of Monopoly not quite fair because the rich guy, first of all, has a tray full of money that their parents gave to them from their Monopoly game. So we roll the dice, and guess what? I get a pretty good job out of college because I got to go to college because my parents scrimped and saved. And I had really good grades. The hedge fund baby, they went to college. They weren't particularly smart, but mom and dad paid their way into college. So they went to a better college than I did. And then there's the alcoholic baby that didn't go to college. In fact, they had to drop out of high school because their attendance was so bad and they just didn't really care. And when they were 15, they started drinking. So we've started off like this. I roll the dice and right out of school, and I get a pretty good job. The of course I worked for it, and I applied to a lot of places. The rich guy, he got a job because dad made a call to his buddy that owned a company, and he got put right into an executive position. Didn't have to work his way up like I'm going to. The alcoholic baby, she's now working as a waitress and she's living in a scuzzy apartment. And now we're gonna roll the dice, and guess what? I get a puncture in my tire, my car, and there's enough wear on my tires that now I've got to buy four new tires because I've punctured one because they've got to be even. You can't put a brand new tire on. So $800 that I was planning to save is gone. The hedge fund manager has a driver. They don't they Their family's always been driven around. They don't have to worry about maintaining a car. They just pick up the phone and say have the car out front and it's somebody else's problem and money's not an object. The alcoholic woman, she's got a beater car that she bought for 600 and it's not even running right now. And when it does run, she has to be careful because it's not registered, because she can't afford to register it and pay the rent and feed her family and do everything on her waitress salary. So we're gonna roll the dice again. And guess what? The alcoholic, she goes to the chance cards and she has to go to jail, directly to jail. Do not pass go, do not collect $200. And now the hedge fund baby, that baby rolls the dice and she gets to advance to Boardwalk. Well, it's not purchased yet, so she buys it because she has all the money to do that. Now it's my turn and I land on community chest and I pick a card and I gotta pay another $75 poor tax. Oh my God. So now I've had to buy tires, I've had to pay a poor tax. This is the Monopoly game that we play called life. It really is. When we're born with an unfair advantage, and then things happen where you could have, maybe there's a fourth player, and that player is the doctor, the son of a nurse and a teacher. And they roll the dice, and they're always landing on, advance to go, collect $200. And I'm always landing on things like, pay the school tax, buy new tires, go to jail. No, my luck is bad. So Monopoly is a game of luck. This is a game of luck. Did I do anything or plan to have a tire that blows? No, I didn't. Did the guy across from me that's just like me do something where he deserves to get all good things happen to him? He hasn't done anything better than I've done, but the good things happen to him. So this game of capitalism with everyone for their own self is just bull crap. This is not, if you're religious as all, this is not love thy neighbor. This is not love one another and take care of each other and care for the poor. And it's just, this whole setup is bullshit. Oh, no, we're mandating that people buy insurance, and that's making our CEOs of the insurance companies quite wealthy. I think the top 60 insurance company CEOs, their salaries average $17 million a year. Now, someone out there tell me who has worked so hard or done so much in education and sacrificed so much that they deserve $17 million a year. Most people I know, if they had $17 million a year, they'd never work again because they'd have everything they need. The problem is that the more people make, the more they find to spend it on. Sure, if you have $17 million, you can buy a helicopter. If you have billions of dollars, you can buy yourself a politician now. But anyway, that will take me off on a tangent and a rant about big money and politics, and we won't go there. I just wanted to talk about the game of Monopoly we're all playing. Now we've gotten to a point where there's a handful of people at the top that have all the money. Well, when you play Monopoly, you don't play it forever. You play it until someone has all the money, and then you start a new game. Because the three without money and have nothing say, I quit. Well, you know what? I quit. I quit playing this game of friggin' Monopoly. And you should quit too. This is outrageous. Who needs $1 billion? Let me tell you something. If you save $50,000 a year for 20 years, you would have $1 million. So to have $100 million, you would have to save $50,000 a year for 200 years. Right? Is that right? Just a second. I'm doing the math. But to have like $1 billion, it's something like you'd have to save $50,000 for like 2,000 years. So really, who needs $1 billion? I think Bernie Sanders is right when he says we shouldn't allow billionaires. Who needs $1 billion? If you have $100 million, you're rich and you'll never want for anything. If you have $500 million, you are filthy rich and you'll never want for anything. Why should anyone have to have $1 billion? This is why a marginal tax rate on big money is vital. Now, a marginal tax rate, I think it was when Reagan was in office, it was something like 72%. And that was down from like 92%, or maybe it was 78%. But at the highest in the 50s and 60s, when America was really prospering, the rich paid a 92% tax rate on amount over a certain amount. So we're going to let you make $10 million. But after $10 million, you're going to give 92 cents on the dollar back. You're still going to make money. You're going to still make 8 cents on the dollar. And if you feel you need more money than your $10 million that year, then certainly keep making more. But when Reagan got in office, he dropped the marginal tax rate down to like 28% or something like that. So now anything over $10 million, they're only paying 28 cents on the dollar instead of 92 cents on the dollar. This is just greed on the part of the rich person. I mean, how greedy can you get? When my mother was alive, and she just passed away this year in her late 90s, one day she made this statement. We were talking about peace or war or something, and she made this statement: there will never be peace on earth, and I'll tell you why. And the room went silent because everybody wanted to hear what this wise older woman had to say. And she said, we will never have peace because of greed. Because if it's not money, it's land or resources or somebody wanting to take from another. So if the rich people want more of the money, that is just greed. And to think that people are going hungry while one or two people are allowed to fleece the system is unacceptable to me. So anyway, this game of Monopoly, I quit. We need more of a level playing field for everyone. So how about, kids can, when your parents die, kids can keep half of anything over $5 million or $10 million, or half of, they can keep $10 million, but everything else reverts back to the state and goes back into the system, so that the money isn't hidden in the Cayman Islands or Switzerland or wherever. It's ridiculous. Anyway, I quit, and this has been a nice fireside chat with you, but it's getting rather warm in here, so bye-bye for now.